What's going on? You know what it is. It is your girl, Miss Chris. I have Miss Meagan Good with me today. Hi, Meagan.
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Now, you were just on Law and Order.
Yes.
And talk a little about that.
It's actually coming out this Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm really excited because it raises the issue of domestic abuse, you know, and I think that it's something that the light needs to be shined on it a little bit more. There's a lot of people in situations where they don't want to come forward or they don't want to make the other person to blame when they are to blame, and I think it's important to just talk about that conversation. And you know, I was like, when they asked me to do it, I was like, absolutely. So.
One thing I feel about you is you're very positive. I feel always, every time I run into you, you seem like you have a very positive outlook on life and a positive energy, and that's really appreciated, especially in the industry. How do you stay positive in an industry that can be looked upon as very superficial, very sort of, you know, there's a lot of negative aspects?
Yeah. I mean, really it's God, you know? That's the number one most important thing. You can't just do this because you want to be a celebrity or you want to be famous. It has to be about something bigger. It has to be about something deeper. And for me, it's really about building the kingdom of God. And that's what keeps me positive when you deal with the rejection.
Are you just saying that because of your husband? Are you really?
No. It's funny because a lot of people think that now. And I'm like, well, if you look at past interviews from like 10 years past, I've always been the same person. And that's actually why him and I ended up together, because we connected on that level right out the gate. And, you know, again, that's the most important thing. And, you know, it's got to be deeper than just the superficial stuff, because that will kill you. It will break your confidence. It'll break your self-esteem and all of that. And when you're focused on God, it really is, you just have so much more peace and you feel like you have a purpose in what you're doing. So,
talk about, you and your sister have a foundation.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
The Greater Good Foundation.
The Greater Good.
Yes.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Or pun intended.
Yeah. My sister and I, you know, we have a passion for young women, and we know how hard it is just to be a young girl or a young woman, and we really wanted to support them and then teach them about self-love and about self-respect. And there's a lot of negative images out here, and we want to give them something else, and another alternative, something else to look forward to. So that's really the basis of it. We have a curriculum in the Compton School District right now that teaches boys and girls school, but via the arts. Like, we teach math, science, all of that. We have teachers who do that, but we teach it in a way where we build self-esteem, we build confidence, we build purpose. You know, not every kid learns the same way, so it's really about that, empowering the youth in general, but our main focus is empowering young women.
Right. Now, recently, some of your pictures were leaked, and as well as other people.
Yeah.
What was your first reaction? Were you just kind of disappointed, like, man, really? Like, really?
You know what's funny is I had a young girl that I'm mentoring that told me, she was like, you know, I think the pictures, and I was like, I don't really have any pictures. And she was like, well, they keep saying they're going to put pictures out. And I was like, I don't really have any, but okay. And I certainly don't have anything in the cloud.
Yeah.
And then when it did happen, it kind of threw me off because they obviously went through my husband's phone, not mine.
Okay.
And a part of me was disappointed, and a part of me just had to laugh, because it was like, at the end of the day, I'm not just out here taking nude pictures for whoever.
Right.
I didn't put them out myself.
Right.
It was an invasion of our privacy and of our marriage, you know?
Right.
And at the end of the day, you can't really, to cry about it or to be sad about it, it is what it is. And, you know, you can clearly see there for him, he's like in the little face box. And, you know, there's nothing to be ashamed of. I think that every marriage has to remain spicy and healthy,
Definitely.
especially when you do what I do for a living, or any job where you're gone and on the road all the time. So, yeah, no shame, and, you know, it's no victim blaming.
No,
and
I appreciate
let's keep
that.
it pushing,
Yeah, exactly.
You know?